Hello and welcome back to PrimaFacie. We're going to do a brief run through of the latest updates that we've performed. Let's go to a contact so we can illustrate some of the new differences. Here we go. You can see that this tab looks a little different. We organize the information in a number of different tabs here. Info, general, these would be current addresses. So you might have an address, which would be your physical address, a mailing address or a foreign address, and changing those is as simple as clicking on it. As simple as clicking on it. Right, you can't select two of the same because this is done for auto-population purposes. So if you select one to be foreign, you can't select another one to be foreign. It'll unselect the other. Right? We do previous addresses now. Previous addresses, you would just add them by clicking here, adding a new address. And it's going to calculate where it belongs in your list based on the dates that you lived there. So that's how you organize which one's first, which one's second on the list. Phone numbers we handle a little differently now. You can actually define those like this as well. It can be a work number, home phone, mobile, pager, Skype, or other. And you would just put that there so you can tell which type of phone number it is. So the other thing that we've done differently is we handle subcontacts differently. So the question is, I have another contact and I want to use that contact to populate my forms. How do I do it? Well, you would go to the contact page here, and there's actually, this is a beta version, but tomorrow you'll see the button that says link existing contact, and it'll allow you to connect an existing contact to Brittany pairs here. And then in any case you create for Brittany pairs, you can select those people. Or you can create a new contact here as well. Now, related contacts, they're no longer subcontacts. They actually exist within the realm of PrimaFacie as a complete and normal contact. So later, if you said, well, Kevin Federline needs his own immigration case now, you can search him and create your own case for him. So for example, you just click on him, and it would just say a new case. And we tell you that he is related to her. All right, so let's go back to Brittany. What else are we doing differently now? If you have, let's look at cases. We have a number of different case types, but our practice areas are increasing. So if you're a Michigan attorney, California attorney, Illinois or Chicago attorney, you can now subscribe to additional forms libraries. Okay, so that's important to know. And other than that, the other thing we handled in a major way is two-way syncing of contacts. So we're actually able to sync contact information like we weren't able to do before. So for example, let's click on our Go Clio button here. And it's going to bring us to Brittany's information inside Clio. And let's just go ahead and edit her name. We'll give her last name a silent J. And we'll give her another silent J in her first name. So it's Brittany Pierce, but it's silent. So Brittany Pierce. Let's go down. We'll update. Okay, then we're going to go back into Clio. We're going to click refresh. And look at this. We have a little friendly button that appears that says update from Clio. So you have to manually authorize that. Yes, we're going to overwrite it. Okay, update it. And voila. There is silent J number 1 and silent J number 2. So we know that that's working. If you edit information here inside of Clio, let's give her an XYZ at the end of her first name. We'll add, edit, and sync with Clio. Click that button. Let's go Clio. And there we go, Brittany XYZ pairs. Pretty fantastic, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right, so what else can we do? Again, notes, tasks, just like always before. At the case level, those will sync both ways. At the contact level, just the notes will sync because there's no contact level tasks in Clio. Let's go into a case. Oh, and let me just remind you of this. Let's go back to Brittany's information. When you create a case in Prima, select the case type. We'll just create asylum, call it bananas. Okay, let's click Add. And of course, we're going to see that load here. Let's go to Brittany's case list in Clio. Of course, they'll refresh and load here. Now we go to her matters. And we'll look and see, what did we call it? We called it, here we go, I-589. It's an asylum one that came from PrimaFacie. So creating it in PrimaFacie creates it in Clio. Just like, let's do this. Let's click Add a new case here. And we'll just call it Mangoes. Go back to PrimaFacie. Now we're back into PrimaFacie. Let's take a look at the cases. And we don't see mangoes. Now why don't we see mangoes? Because even though we have two-way syncing and we push cases from Prima into Clio, in order for us to see that mangoes case, we're still going to have to go to the Clio Sync tab and just take a look at the list of our cases, and there's mangoes. We can import it from here. Okay. So for workflow purposes, you may want to just create your cases in Prima, because it'll automatically create it in Clio as well. That way when you go into Clio, you can do your document generation, you can do all your other things you need to do there. And those are some of the basic new features of PrimaFacie. A little bit smoother two-way sync. That update button pops up here for updating contact information. We push contact information both ways. And you'll notice it runs a little faster. And that's how easy it is to use PrimaFacie.